This is your professor, Dr. K, and welcome to the Spiritual Awakening University. Welcome to the Spiritual University, where we share hidden knowledge and we set each other free. I'm the spirit filled with wisdom, vision of divine sight. Mentally, I'm intuitive, so just get your mind right. Yeah, welcome to the Spiritual University, where we share hidden knowledge and we set each other free. I'm the spirit filled with wisdom, vision of divine sight. Mentally, I'm intuitive, so just get your mind right. Islamism. Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening University podcast. Got that 9 ether healing bowl right here. Crown chakra vibes. I'm your professor, Dr. Kalilu Kamara. Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening University. This is episode number 5. Okay? The main topics of spiritual discussion are metaphysics, chemistry, alchemy, mysticism, and esoteric knowledge for the chosen 144,000. Ashe. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Ashe. Want to give a special shout out and a happy birthday to Marcus Mosiah Garvey, the entrepreneur god, RBG, revolutionary but gangster. This is August 17th, the 8-8 portal. So we channeling the divine energy of Marcus Garvey and his solar return, this 138 solar return, Ashe. So you know we have some signs and symbols for the conscious mind. You know, we have the feather, you know, so our heart can be lighter than the feather. We have the yellow candle because it's Leo season, and it's that solar plexus energy. So we're gonna light the yellow candle for that. Hopefully it'll stay lit. Got the air conditioner on. We have the elements right here. That's the fire. We got the water right here. Got the chalice for the water. Divine feminine energy. And of course we got 2 of the Orishas right here. We have Shango, Orisha of justice, and we have his divine wife, Oya. Okay? So we have both of them on there. And we definitely want to bring in the elements. One for the water. We have the chalice right here. The water, the fire, divine feminine, divine masculine. And we have the earth, you know, with the pinnacle. And of course we have the air. See, I have the magic wand right here for the air. You know what I'm saying? All air signs, you know. And we have the knife right here for the fire. Okay, so we also want to bring in those 4 directions: north, east, west, and south. Ashe. Ashe to the 4 directions. We want to bring in the 4 stages of matter: solids, liquids, gases, and plasma energy. Ashe. And of course, we want to bring in that quadrinity: the mother, Father, daughter, and son. Ashe. Ashe to the quadrinity. And of course, we want to bring in the supreme powers of the Creator, that omnipotence, all-powerful, omniscient, all-knowing, and omnipresence everywhere. Powers of the God, the supreme creator of all things. And definitely, we want to bring in that Kundalini energy. So we're talking about Ma'at, the divine feminine, and we're talking about Islam, which is the divine masculine, and we're combining both together to raise our Kundalini energy. Ashe. Ashe. Kundalini rising. White healing bowl. Ashe. Now we're going to do this mantra right quick. So stay tuned. We're going to do this mantra. It's called My Being, Spiritual Awakening University. You're tuned in. And the name of this podcast is called Heru for the Homeless, How to Defeat Homelessness in Los Angeles. And we're giving you some financial literacy skills for everybody in the hood. Okay, so stay tuned. We're gonna be right back. Spiritual Awakening University is Dr. K right back at you, about to give you this mantra, my being. Okay, so we're going to say this 3 times. Here we go. My being knows no limit. I am God, Goddess within. Horizon of this moment with eternity I blend. Every space is here. Every time is now. Everyone is me. Full awakening of eternal remembrance. Blessings now I be. Immortal hands, immortal body. Immortal energy, immortal healing. I ask God and God is due all that they will ever do. Amen. Woman. God. Goddess. I be absolute reality. So it is and blessed be. My being knows no limit. I am God, Goddess within. Horizon of this moment with eternity I blend. Every space is here. Every time is now. Everyone is me. Full awakening of eternal remembrance. Blessings now I be. Immortal hands, immortal body, immortal energy, immortal healing. I ask God and God is due all that they will ever do. Amen. Woman. God. Goddess. I be absolute reality. So it is and blessed be. My being knows no limit. I am God, Goddess within. Horizon of this moment with eternity I blend. Every space is here. Every time is now. Everyone is me. Full awakening of eternal remembrance. Blessings now I be. Immortal hands, immortal body, immortal energy, immortal healing. I ask God and God is due all that they will ever do. Amen. Woman. God. Goddess. I be absolute reality. So it is and blessed be. Last time. My being knows no limit. My being knows no limit. I am God, Goddess within. Horizon of this moment with eternity I blend. Every space is here. Every time is now. Everyone is me. Full awakening of eternal remembrance. Blessings now I be. Immortal hands, immortal body, immortal energy, immortal healing. I ask God and God is due all that they will ever do. Amen. Woman. God. Goddess. I be absolute reality. So it is and blessed be. Ashe, yo. Stay tuned. Spiritual Awakening Universities, Dr. K. Welcome back, fam. Spiritual Awakening University. We're going to get into this podcast, but first, before we get into it, I want to tell y'all how I became homeless. The title of this podcast is Heru for the homeless. So of course I've been through homelessness before. Now how I became homeless, I had just got fired from my job, and I was living with my mom, and things just weren't looking good. But I looked on Craigslist and I found this organization that said, are you an inspiring artist? And I always wanted to be an artist, and they said that they would provide me with the tools and the resources I need to become a successful independent artist. So I went to the organization and they taught me some entrepreneurial skills, how to promote myself as an artist and generate funds through a fundraising effort. And I was generating funds, but my mom didn't think that I should chase my dreams or become an independent artist. So, she wanted me to work at Verizon Wireless. So she kicked me out the house. And, she's kind of notorious for that. It kind of builds some strength up in me. But this time, I'm homeless. I had just lost my girl. I had lost my fiance. I had lost my job, and now I was kicked out the house. But another good thing, fortunately, I was studying for my master's degree, so I still had a little bit of hope. But now I had to live in my car, So I'm homeless, I'm sleeping in my car. I had to take showers at Jesse Owens Park, on Western and 90th Street. I had to groom myself in the laundry room, I had to, shaping my beard up and everything. And at the same time, studying for my master's degree, I was selling CDs to survive. I had these CDs, that's what I learned from the organization. They taught me how to independently promote myself as an artist. So I'm selling CDs. I'm still getting some financial aid. I was able to get a room every now and then, like a hotel room, you know, with the CD profits. And yeah, 3 months later, I was able to get an apartment, and I defeated homelessness. Okay. Now, the funny thing about that is, you know, after I became an artist, I had a few small gigs here and there, you know, because the CDs were going out, you know, it wasn't a lot of people buying CDs anymore. So I had a job, I had a telemarketing job, and it was horrible, you know, but I stuck with it. And after I got that telemarketing job, then I got a job servicing the homeless. So not only have I defeated homelessness, you know, I've also given back by helping other people find housing, you know, and that was a good job that I had. I worked for Volunteers of America, which is a nonprofit organization. I did graduate while I was homeless. I still graduated, got my master's degree, nonprofit management. I'm working at this nonprofit, Volunteers of America, as a housing specialist. Then I got promoted to housing coordinator because I was housing so many people experiencing homelessness. And I worked at a homeless shelter. And when I tell you, 95% of the people in there looked just like me. They were dark men. And there was a women's shelter too. And maybe 85% of the women there were dark women. Okay? So while I was working at this nonprofit organization, I was studying for my PhD, for my doctorate in business. But I didn't tell anybody because I didn't want, you know, any shade to be thrown on me. So when I graduated, I expected to get another promotion. So I did get another promotion. I was the manager for homeless female veterans and veterans with families, okay? HFVVF. And, you know, I got my master's degree in nonprofit management and leadership. But when I got promoted, I noticed how corporate America really works. So I didn't really last too long. I only lasted 1 year after I got my PhD, and then, you know, it was just time for me to go. But that was like my dream job, to service the homeless people in Los Angeles, because homelessness is a huge issue out here. But we're gonna get into some strategies on how you can solve homelessness if you ever go through that. So I also want to point out there that I am a former foster youth, and a lot of the foster youth end up homeless, dead, or in jail, or just in prison, you know? So it was probably gonna happen regardless, because I've been through such turmoil at a young age, but that didn't stop me. When I emancipated from foster care, I was only 17 years old. I went to college up north to Sacramento to get away from family, and also like to be around more diverse crowds. And while I was in college, I lived in the dorms, and I probably had like at least 10 different apartments. You know, the first apartment that I had, it was in like a not so safe environment, and I ended up getting shot. You know, I got shot in the leg, but the bullet went straight through, you know. It just made me more fearless. Then I got out of that apartment, and I got a studio apartment. And then from there, I got a 1-bedroom. I've lived with friends. You know, I've had a roommate. So I've been through several different living arrangements while in college. That's a good thing about college. It teaches you how to live independently, okay? So I've had at least 15 different apartments in my own name, you know. Me and my dad have the same name. I let him use my ID once, and he got an eviction in my name. So I wouldn't advise anybody do that, you know, even with your parents. You know, I've had a house one time. I've lived with 3 roommates in a house. The lights went off in the house, and I had no car, and I was in college, and I had to ride my bike all the way, like miles, all the way to college. And the lights were off. The refrigerator, how was I gonna eat? The refrigerator, there's no electricity. The food won't even get cold, so I had to eat burritos and a pineapple soda almost every day. But luckily, the burrito was really good, you know, and my mom looked out for me in college. So like, she has a balance thing, you know. Sometimes she throws me to the wolves in the streets, and sometimes she shelters me. Like when I got shot, she helped me get a new apartment. So shout out to moms for that. You know, there's no way I could pay you back, but my plan is to show you that I understand. You are appreciated. Now, we're going to get straight into it, okay? How to defeat homelessness in Los Angeles. First thing you need to do, because this is how I got approved for an apartment when I was homeless for 3 months. You know, I have been working on my credit score for years. You know, I had a Capital One credit card, and the minimum payment was $25 a month. I never missed a payment. And while I was working for this nonprofit organization that helped artists chase their dreams as an independent artist, they wrote a letter for me saying that I made $1,000 a week, and it was on a letterhead, and I presented that to the apartment, and I got approved. I moved in my apartment, 1 bedroom, you know. So your credit score is really important, and that's something that I had to teach myself, you know. So you definitely want to build up your credit score in those references. Her saying that I made $1,000 a week, that helped me get approved for the apartment. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna go through some expenses. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys some financial literacy skills, some budgeting skills. Okay, so in accounting, you have this balance sheet, right? And on the balance sheet, it says assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity. Okay, assets equals liabilities plus owner's equity. You might want to write that down. But right now, what we're going to do, we're going to go over a monthly budget. And this is what I used to do with every individual on my caseload, you know, while they were experiencing homelessness. Now let's go through it. Now this is a budget for someone who doesn't have children, you know, someone who doesn't have children. I'm just using myself as a reference. So if you have children, your budget is going to change, because I know children need clothes, shoes, food, shelter, you know, so that's a whole nother budget. But we're gonna go for the bachelor, the individual dark man's budget. Okay, so rent, number one. First thing on your budget is rent. Do you have an apartment or a house? Most people have an apartment. Okay, apartment that I got out here right now, the rent is about $1,000. Okay, so we got $1,000. Car note. Most people have car notes, you know. I don't have a car note, but we're gonna say that I do, okay? Car note. Then you have to maintain your car also. So we got maintenance, oil changes, maybe some tires. We're gonna say $400 a month, okay? Car insurance, full coverage insurance, $450, okay? It's probably like $300. I have 2 cars, so it's $450 for me. Gas, $500 a month. Okay, gas, you got to be able to get around. If you don't have a car, you're getting around on a bus. That's $25 a week. That's about $100 a month. Okay, phone bill. Everybody needs a smartphone. You know, $100 a month. Lights and water. At the apartment that I live at, all the electricity is included, but you might have to pay lights and water. That's $150. Internet cable. I don't really watch television, but some people do. The internet is important. You know you're gonna want that Wi-Fi. That's $100. Haircut for men. It's probably like $100 a month. $50 each haircut. Okay. Women's haircut could range from women's hygiene and upkeeping could range from $1,000. That depends on if they're getting weaves, are you getting nails, are you getting eyelashes? How many times do you get those a month? You're gonna have to account for that. These are some accounting skills. Okay. Groceries, you know, I spend at least probably like $125 a week on groceries. So that's what, $500 a month on groceries. Eating out, you know, eating out at restaurants, that's probably like $40, $50 a week, you know, that's $200 a month. Cigarettes, now this is a big one that the homeless people, that they mostly spent their money on. I don't smoke cigarettes. I used to smoke these Black and Milds, but I don't smoke them anymore. So cigarettes or blunt wraps, swishers, you know. I use organic hemp blunts right now, hemp wraps, which is about $2 a pack. I'm gonna say $200 a month, you know. Cannabis, you know, I get about 2 ounces a month. That's $400. That's $400 a month, okay? And we're gonna add all this up. Let me pull up the calculator, okay? Alcohol, beer. I don't really drink that much, but a lot of the homeless people, they were drinking beer, you know? $20 a month for me. Dates. If I want to take a woman out on a date, or my girlfriend, that's $100 a month. Movies, DVDs, $50. Music, miscellaneous, you know, you got stuff on the iPhone, $100. And new clothes and shoes, $200. So let's add all this up. We got $1,000, and this is what I'm supposed to make monthly. 400 plus 450 plus 500 plus 100 plus 150 plus 100 plus 100 for haircuts plus 500 for groceries plus 200 for eating out plus 200 for blunts or hemp wraps plus 400 for cannabis plus $20 for beer plus $100 for a date plus $50 for movies plus $100 for music plus $200 for new clothes. That's about $4,570 per month, right? $4,570. Now that's times that by 12. So I would need a job that pays about $54,840. I'm gonna write that down yearly. $54,840. Okay, that's how much I would need to make a year. So I probably need at least $60,000 a year. Now, the last job I had in corporate America, they were only paying me about $52,000 a year, and that's with a PhD. I was supposed to be making $120,000, but I know I'm not gonna make that coming straight out, you know. So I need about $60,000 a year if I had a job, but my PhD is in entrepreneurship, so that's the budget right there, right? And you need to write down your own expenses. Some of those expenses you might not even have, okay? Now, income. Now, these are the only ways, these are the main ways I see people generating income. When I was working at the homeless shelter, most of the individuals there were getting SSI, which is about $900 a month. Now, if your rent is $1,000, how can you pay your rent if you only make $900? Most people don't even want to work. They just want to get SSI, okay? Now, if you got a job, most entry-level jobs, or like the average job, is going to pay you around $35,000 a year, like as a case manager. You could get a job as a case manager. Los Angeles got $550 million for homelessness. LAHSA, the Los Angeles Housing Authority, Los Angeles Housing Service Authority, is the ones who are controlling the funds. $550 million. But it's still so many homeless people out here, okay? People experiencing homelessness. So you get a job if you want. But when you get a job, you have to give them your time and your energy, okay? You could get unemployment. At one point in time, when I had lost my job, I had lost a different job. I was getting unemployment for like 2 years. I was getting like $1,200 a month. So, but I had some side hustles though, you know? So that's another way you can generate income, through unemployment. Retirement, you know? Retirement is like 65 years old. Me, I'm only 38, so I can't really be too much thinking about retirement right now, but that's another way you can generate income in the future. Now, one of the little hustles I have is DoorDash, okay? You can DoorDash, make some extra funds, you know? And get some gas, or, you know, get some food. It's just to pay small bills, but if you're trying to survive off DoorDash, I really wouldn't recommend that, okay? Now, one of the things that you can have is entrepreneurial businesses, okay? I'm a realtor. I sell houses, you know? I'm in a real estate business meeting in this Airbnb right now, you know, using my real estate experience, okay? Now, when you're an entrepreneur, you have unlimited potential. There is no income limit when you're an entrepreneur, you know? But there's things that you have to have as an entrepreneur. Number one, you're gonna have to have ambition. You're gonna have to have motivation. You're gonna have to have self-determination. And you're gonna have to look for opportunities. You're gonna have to capitalize on different opportunities. But first, you have to find them though. And when you're an entrepreneur, you can generate an unlimited amount of income. There is no fixed set, like, oh, you're only gonna make this much a year. And when you're an entrepreneur, one of the best things about being an entrepreneur is you get to control your own time and your own energy. Can't nobody tell you when to get up and go to work. Can't nobody really tell you what to wear to go to work, you know? Can't nobody tell you when to use the bathroom, when to go on break, when to go on lunch. You control your own time, you control your own energy, your own destiny. So that's why I got my PhD in entrepreneurship, because I want to control my own life. And that's what Marcus Garvey was. He was an entrepreneur. So if you have self-motivation, you have self-determination, you have ambition, you have a high energy level, it might be a good idea for you to become an entrepreneur. Chase your dreams, you know? I've been doing this music thing for 10 years and it's finally starting to pay off, you know? So yeah, shout out to me for believing in myself. So some other ways you can generate income is of course through Section 8, you know? You can get that through an organization called Hopix on like 54th and Broadway, you know? 54th and Broadway, you can apply for a Section 8 voucher. I don't know if they have any, but you know, those are for people who really don't have any ambition. You don't have any goals, no high goals in life. You get Section 8. Of course, you can get food stamps. You know, I used to get food stamps, but that's just like a booster for you. You know, you don't want to stay on food stamps forever, but you could get $221 a month in food stamps. Now, some other routes you could take, which, you know, some people do, is very risky. I'm not on here to judge anybody. You know, some people are drug dealers or they're goons, you know. But if you want to be a drug dealer or a goon, you're taking penitentiary chances, and you know you playing with your life. You know, you taking death chances. And for women, you know, a lot of dark women are really money, you know, in it for the money. You know, for women, the lower route for them is to become prostitutes. You know, but the downfall of that, you know, the money may be fast, but you may be mentally deranged. You may end up with a lonely life, and you may have spiritual demons, or you might have drug addictions, you know? So I wouldn't advise anybody choose the last two, you know, become a prostitute or a drug dealer, or even a pimp, you know, because that's downgrading women. I'm not talking bad on the pimps, you know. I listen to Sugar Free sometimes, you know, his rhymes, you know, amuse me, but you know, we trying to uplift the women, and if you pimping on the women, you just bringing them down, you know. And if we don't liberate the women, if the women don't evolve, we're never gonna evolve as a race, because they were here first, you know. The women are the key to our success. So that's my lesson for the day. I gave you guys a budget, you know. I'm gonna go over the budget once again. So first, you got your rent. You got your car note, or if you're taking a bus. Insurance, if you have a car, you definitely want to have that. Gas for your car, you know. Phone, cell phone, lights, water, internet, cable, haircut. And I didn't even put hygiene in there. You're gonna have to buy some hygiene, like some deodorant, some soap, some toothpaste. So you definitely want to put that in there. Let's add that on there. Hygiene products. We're gonna say about $40 a month, okay? Hygiene products, that's important. Groceries, $500 a month. Eating out, $200. Cigarettes, blunt wraps, $200. Cannabis or weed, $400. And if you don't have any addictions, that's good. Or if you don't spend money on recreational cannabis, that's good. It'll save you more money. Alcohol, beer, $20. Dates, you know, going to the club, $100. You don't have to buy some drinks there too, maybe. Movies, DVDs, $50. Music, miscellaneous, $100. New clothes, shoes, $200. So if I wanted a job, I would need to be making at least $60,000 a year, or else I wouldn't be able to maintain this lifestyle. Okay? Income, you could get SSI. You're probably not gonna survive on that in Los Angeles. You know, you can get a job, $35,000 a year as a case manager. I mean, you're not gonna be able to take care of the basic essentials that I just explained. Unemployment, that's not gonna last forever, you know. Retirement, you have to wait at least till you're 65 for that, and to get Social Security. DoorDash, that's only gonna give you so much, you know. Entrepreneurial business, that's your best route if you have ambition, motivation, self-determination, and you know how to capitalize on opportunities. Food stamps, that's just temporary, you know. Section 8, free rent, maybe $25 a month. Or you could be a drug dealer, a prostitute, or a pimp, you know, which are like the negative aspects of, you know, trying to become an entrepreneur. You know, those are like the downside. And what I also want to advise is that, You know, if you live in Los Angeles, it'll probably be good if you cohabitate. Like if you have a girlfriend, if you can attract the divine feminine or the divine masculine, y'all can live together, and y'all can pay bills together. I know a lot of the women want the men to pay, they don't want to go 50-50, but in Los Angeles, you know, 70-30, 80-20, any help you can get, you know, is definitely going to benefit you. So I'm not doing a performance today, but I am doing a poem, okay? And this poem is by Tupac Shakur. You know, it's called Wake Me When I'm Free. And Tupac used to be homeless too. You know, for those of you who don't know, Tupac used to live in a homeless shelter. So if you've been homeless before, don't feel bad. You know, the greatest of us go through that. But don't let that keep you down, you know? Always keep rising above. So we're going to read this poem, Wake Me When I'm Free. Please wake me when I'm free. I cannot bear captivity, where my culture, I'm told, holds no significance. I'll wither and die in ignorance. But my inner eye can see a race who reigned as kings in another place. The green of trees were rich and full, and every man spoke so beautiful. Men and women together as equals. War was gone because all was peaceful. But now like a nightmare I wake to see that I live like a prisoner in poverty. Please wake me when I'm free. I cannot bear captivity, for I would rather be stricken blind than to live without expression of mind. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. This is Dr. K. This has been Spiritual Awakening University. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that helped you guys out. Sending positive energy to always create elevation to everybody experiencing homelessness in Los Angeles County and throughout the country and throughout the world. My heart is with you, sending you good vibes. You see, we got Oya, we got Shango here, we got the Divine Feminine, Divine Masculine, Spiritual Awakening University. Blessings to you. This is Dr. K signing out. Peace.